All right, it looks like it's 5:45, so I will go ahead and call the pre-meeting to order. Councilwoman Wiseman will not be able to join tonight either in person or virtually, so she will not be here tonight. So we have a prayer led by Councilman Kimna. And I didn't know, Councilman Kimna, before you do the prayer, do you think it'd be good to mention about Pee Wee Fork and how he had passed a longtime commissioner maybe? Or I can, either way. Okay, maybe before the prayer and then I could turn it over to you. Okay. And then we have a pandemic update. It looks like we have a written report for that. And then we will also have someone here from the county for World Breastfeeding Week. And we'll have our announcements. And I'll call on Councilman Lester about the trails less traveled, if anyone else has anything. Sunny?
Yes, I'd like to announce a survey is open to support a state CDBG CV grant application the city is assembling.
Okay, I'll call on you there. Right, and going through our consent, any questions on consent agenda? And bills introduced, number 36, Margie?
So this will be the first reading for the adoption of the FY22 budget.
Thank you. And number 37, Margie?
So this will be the first reading for the property tax assessment rate for calendar year 2021, our budget year FY22.
Okay, thank you. And maybe it might be good, I just kind of am backtracking on announcements, if I should call on you, Councilman Hensley, just to announce the next budget meeting or anything like that. Okay. And then number 38.
Yes, this would be a contract with Donaldson Construction for some street microsurfacing. As noted in the agenda, we are requesting a check mark on that item with simply for the weather factor. The warmer it is, the more efficient this system works.
Okay. Sounds good. Any questions? There is the request to suspend the rules, so any questions on that? Okay, number 13, bills pending, number 33.
My mistake. Yes, this is the budget adjustment within the wastewater fund to recognize insurance proceeds and related to the next item on the agenda.
Okay, any questions? And the next item, number 34, Britt?
This would be to replace the roof at our wastewater treatment plant is damaged in the hailstorm.
Any questions? Okay, and back on number 38, maybe Councilman Fitzwater might want to make the request to suspend the rules on that bill likely. Okay. And then on number 35, Mr. Spalding.
Yes, this is the bill to amend our budget to reclassify a parks maintenance and a senior parks maintenance into an assistant director position.
Okay, any questions? Okay. Nothing on the informal. Resolution 10, Britt.
Yes, this would be a resolution authorizing the sale of a parking lot, which we call Lot 4. It's adjacent to the county courthouse. The sale would be to the courthouse for the appraised value.
Okay, any questions? All right, and we have no presentations this evening. We do have a closed session tonight, but that was all. So it was really fast. That was like a 4-minute pre-meeting, you guys. Okay, so I will go ahead and adjourn the pre-meeting and we will wait until 6 p.m. to start the council meeting. I will mention, and I'll mention it during the meeting, that I think 2 of you have already turned in your pledge card. So we left some photocopies in case anyone's lost their pledge card from before about United Way. Even if it's just a small amount, it doesn't have to be a lot. A lot of you already give through your employer or other things, but if anybody, even if it's $10 or $20, if you want to give a little something, it'd just be nice if we have 100% participation. So I'll go over that too. But I guess we'll just wait until 6 p.m. All right, thank you.
been starving for once, except me. Until now, congratulations.
And then it's on. All right, welcome everyone. It's 6 o'clock. Are we good to go in the back there to start the meeting? We're good. Okay. And before we begin the meeting, we will have a prayer led by Councilman Kemna, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I do want to mention here before the prayer to also have a moment to remember former County Commissioner Pee Wee Fork, who recently passed away. And we know that Pee Wee really loved our city and was a friend to all of us here. So we dearly miss him, and we will think of him during the prayer. So Councilman Kemna.
Heavenly Father, we assemble this evening and ask that you be a part of this meeting and our discussion. We seek your wisdom when it comes to our decisions for this evening and for those decisions that impact the future of this community. Guide our thoughts, our words, and actions as we continue to lead as a council to work through the challenges laid before us. We ask that you lend your compassion and healing for all those that are struggling during this time, and that you give them the strength to rise up against their fears and their enemies. We ask that you lend your protection for all those called to serve on the front lines of this community and for this country. Give us strength and courage to walk in your steps and in your light. I ask all these in your name.
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I will now call to order the Monday, August 2nd, 2021 City Council meeting. You can also join virtually. The link is on the agenda at jeffersoncitymo.gov along with a phone-in number. Item 2, roll call, please.
Present. Here.
Lester,
Here.
Schreiber, Spencer,
Here.
Spicer, Spicer. Vote.
Here.
Ford. Here. Wiseman.
And we are glad to welcome you. I have Harley Bexton here this evening to fill in for Ms. Donaldson. So welcome and glad to have you. Item 3, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 4, we have a couple of miscellaneous agenda items. We always give a pandemic update, and this evening I will read a written report from Chesney Schulte from the Cole County Health Department. And she sent us this information. It reads, today, Cole County Health Department reported 134 new positive COVID-19 cases. As you can see on the website, colehealth.org, in the month of July, as many as 69 tested positive on any given day. As a reminder, the chart on the website shows the date a positive COVID-19 specimen was collected, not the date it was reported. The total number of vaccine breakthrough infections to date is 283. A vaccine breakthrough infection is when a person tests positive for COVID-19 14 days or greater after they completed a COVID-19 vaccine series. Vaccine breakthrough infections were expected to occur, so please do not think that the vaccine has failed the individuals who have tested positive for COVID-19 after being fully vaccinated. The purpose of the current COVID-19 vaccines is to decrease the severity of the symptoms and decrease the risk of hospitalization. Choosing to get vaccinated is one way to help the hospital systems in this time where local hospitals are experiencing higher volumes of admissions related to COVID-19. This morning, Capital Region Medical Center reported 27 COVID patients in-house, and St. Mary's reported 15. These numbers are steady from last week. While the COVID-19 vaccine may decrease your risk of severe illness and hospitalization, please also keep in mind the ways to decrease your risks of exposure to COVID-19 and the risk of spreading COVID-19 to others. Whether you have been fully vaccinated or not, stay home if you are experiencing symptoms, distance from others outside of your household, wash your hands and/or use sanitizer often, and wear a mask if you cannot social distance. Consider boosting your immune system health by increasing your intake of vitamins C, D, and zinc. There are many studies that emphasize the correlation between vitamin D deficiency and increased risk of COVID illness. So we thank Chesney Schulte from the Cole County Health Department for giving us that information, and Director Christy Campbell, as we stay in close contact and communication about getting the word out to the community of taking these precautions. There will also be a press briefing this week on Thursday, and we like to have those weekly briefings to get out the latest information to the public. So we encourage everyone to please take note of that and pay attention and share this information with their family, friends, and coworkers. We've made it very easy to get a vaccine in Cole County. So many places are offering that at different pharmacies. Talk to your doctor, your physician, if you have any questions about it. Cole County Health Department also offers that, I believe, on Thursdays every week. So you can certainly reach out to them as well. So there are opportunities for vaccine and for testing here in Cole County. Any questions or comments? Okay, and we'll move on to item B. And we have with us also some representatives from Cole County Health Department. We are going to recognize World Breastfeeding Week with a proclamation that I get to present to Melinda Ridenauer. So welcome. We're glad to have you here this evening. And I will read the proclamation. And it says, whereas the Cole County Health Department recognizes World Breastfeeding Week, August 1st through 7th, by promoting this year's theme, Protect Breastfeeding, a Shared Responsibility. And whereas to raise awareness of the number of benefits of breastfeeding to strengthen individual, family, employer, and community support for breastfeeding, to further strategies that promote breastfeeding practices and to support increased breastfeeding rates. And whereas breastfeeding is recognized by major medical organizations such as the American Academy of Pediatrics, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the American Academy of Family Physicians, UNICEF, and WHO as the preferred method of infant feeding. And whereas breastfeeding not only promotes overall infant health, growth, and development, It also provides a stronger immunity to viruses and infections, as well as reduces the risk of sudden infant death syndrome, asthma, obesity, diabetes, and other chronic illness in childhood and later adulthood. And whereas mothers benefit from breastfeeding as it not only advances postpartum recovery, but decreases the risk of ovarian, uterine, and endometrial cancers, as well as anemia, diabetes, and osteoporosis. And whereas accommodations for breastfeeding at work benefit not only women and children, but employers due to cost savings related to healthcare, including less illness among breastfed children, less missed work, higher morale, and a stronger sense of loyalty among female employees. And whereas the Cole County Health Department recognizes it is vital for families to make informed choices about the health and care of infants and support increased efforts by local hospital staff, providers, employers, and all citizens to encourage breastfeeding. Therefore, we do here in Jefferson City proclaim World Breastfeeding Week during August 1st through 7th, and we encourage our citizens to join in a shared responsibility to promote and protect and support breastfeeding. So we are glad to have you here, Melinda. And if you want to tell us a little bit about what Cole County Health Department is doing.
Yes. As the proclamation states, we just work all year round to promote breastfeeding because it is a public health issue, as you know. During this time, we do some events, usually host an event, and we work with our Breastfeeding Coalition. And those members include both of the hospitals, Whaley's Pharmacy, Pregnancy Health Center, and several organizations that come together to provide an event for the community to, again, just raise awareness, to educate the public about benefits, and to just remind everyone the importance of supporting those families that do choose to breastfeed, whether it's in a workplace, in our schools, whatever that might be. So this year, we've already hosted an event at our Cole County Fair where we provided in the exhibit hall a table to provide information. We also provided a place for mothers if they needed to breastfeed their babies, as well as a changing station. And so that event has passed, but we do continue to provide education through social media, as well as just through our contacts as they come into our. So we do work very closely with those other health organizations to collaborate with those lactation consultants to provide seamless care, for our families. So that event has passed, but if individuals to have questions about anything regarding that, they can contact, and as well as watch social media through St. Mary's Hospital, as well as Capital Region Health Center. They'll be posting information on their website this week and during the month, as well as we will also. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all your work on this, and we appreciate you being here, and we'll ask if there's any questions or comments from council.
Hey, Madam Mayor.
I can't really say much
Wonderful.
more than what it says.
Yes, Councilman Spicer,
Spicer.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Hey, Melinda, I just wanted to let you know, sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but we really appreciate all the hard work that you put into your job. I've known Melinda a long time, and she's a hard-working lady, and we really appreciate all you do for the city and the county.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. And do you have some others with you this evening? They're welcome to come up and we'll get a photo, but if you'd like to introduce them.
She's a lactation.
Wonderful. Thank you all for being here and for all that you do to promote breastfeeding in our community. And we're glad to do our part as well. So thank you all for being here. And at this time, if you all would like to come forward, and we'll get a picture, and any council members that would like to join in as well. Thank you.
all they wanted.
All right, and we have no public hearings, no appointments this evening. Item 7, presentations from staff, consultants, and invited guests. We don't have any. Item 6, announcements by mayor, council, and staff. And we have a few announcements this evening. I'll start with Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The city intends to apply for a up to $2 million grant from the Missouri Department of Economic Development's Community Development Block Grant COVID-19 program. Part of that involves public involvement, and we have assembled a short 9-question survey. It is available on the city's website. If you just go to our homepage, simply scroll down. Under news and headlines will be a box that says State CDBG CV Community Needs Assessment. And if the citizens and everybody here would take a few minutes to just fill out that survey, that helps us meet our public involvement requirement on that. The survey closes August 15th. Thank you. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Sanders. And Councilman Lester has an announcement as well.
Yes, just want to announce that on this past Saturday, it was a celebration of the first Trails Less Traveled Challenge. This was a challenge to walk, bike, or run 21 miles in or around Jefferson City. It was sponsored by the Jefferson City Trail Users Group and Jefferson City Parks. It was a great participation in it. Over 100 people signed up and did the challenge. Even though there was a lot of rain, we celebrated out at Washington Park, and Turgeon drew names of some of the participants. I think there were over 25 names drawn that got prizes from businesses that had donated different equipment and drinking water and other things. It was a great event, and hopefully this will be the first of many to follow. I think a lot of people learned a lot of new trails and places in and around Jefferson City. My wife really went all out, and I think she thought we were supposed to go 21 miles every month. It went from May to July, and certainly had a time trying to keep up with her. Anyway, it's a great event.
Thank you, Councilman Lester, for you all being there. And that's a great partnership between the city and parks and local businesses that gave prizes. And it was great to see so many people that participated. And of course, you were there with your cowbell to cheer on all the winning names as they were drawn. And it was just a lot of excitement. So we appreciate raising awareness for all the great trails that we have, and people really enjoyed that. So thank you. And I will go ahead and give my announcements here. Actually, let's do the committees first. We have our 4 standing committees. These can be found at jeffersoncitymo.gov. Are there any committees that would like to announce this evening? Councilman Hensley?
Thank you. Budget Committee, next meeting. Same time that Administration Committee, which I sit on but I don't chair, I believe, at its month, so would have been this Wednesday.
Thank you, Councilman Hensley. Any other committee announcements this evening? Upcoming meetings? Councilman Fitzwater?
Public Works will meet a week from Thursday on August 7:30.
Okay. Thank you. Any other committee announcements? All right, and I will go over my announcements. Last Saturday night, we had the Moonlight Bike Ride, so was able to participate at that, and it's kind of fun to actually get out and go around Jefferson City at 2 a.m. between 2 and 4. I know there were a lot of city employees that I saw at different parts of that event, but that was a neat event. I would encourage all of you to join me next year in that. And then a few other things coming up. This is the Bicentennial weekend. I feel like I've been talking about this for about the last 2 years. That's all the preparations that are coming up. So I have a few special dates to announce, but you can find this information at Missouri2021.org. In fact, there's a very extensive calendar and a lot of information on that website. So please take some time to spend on there. But this Saturday at 11 a.m. is the Gold Star Families Monument dedication, and that will be held on the Capitol grounds there at the entrance of the Senate garage. And that is very exciting to have that dedicated. So that is Saturday at 11. And then on Monday, August 9th at 2 p.m. is the Bicentennial Bridge dedication and preview. There will be a preview of the bridge and what that will look like completed. There will also be a preview of the chessboard. The World Chess Organization is also going to have representative on hand to show us a preview of what the life-size chessboard will look like eventually on Adrian's Island. So it'll be an exciting day, and that again is Monday, August 9th at 2 p.m. And other things going on for the Bicentennial would be on Tuesday, August 10th, which is actual statehood day. So that's the day that Missouri actually turns 200. So 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 10th, there will be a ceremony, a bicentennial ceremony on the front steps of the Capitol. And we encourage everyone to attend that outdoor event. There will also be the reveal of the Missouri Bicentennial stamp. There will be a naturalization ceremony immediately following that. And at 1:30 that day, Lieutenant Governor Kehoe will be having a tree dedication on the Capitol lawn. And then at 2 o'clock that day, the ice cream social, what everybody's been waiting for. And the ice cream social will be held at Central Dairy, although any ice cream shop is eligible to participate. In fact, every county in the state is encouraged to have an ice cream social. There are many of them going on all around the state of Missouri that day. So nothing like bringing everyone together with some ice cream. So it will be a lot of fun going on these upcoming few days for the Bicentennial. And then also want to announce that tomorrow, Tuesday, August 3rd, is Election Day. So be sure to vote. We have our capital improvement sales tax every 5-year renewal is on the ballot tomorrow. So keeping in mind that is the only thing on the ballot, but certainly is very significant and important. So we want to encourage everyone to remember to vote tomorrow on Tuesday. Any other announcements by council? Councilman Fitzwater?
Just going to compliment the JCs and county, Jefferson City. I thought the fair this year was an amazing event. The attendance looked like people were ready to get out of the box, and weather cooperated. I think they had a good time. They should have made a few dollars. It looked like the auctions went very well for both the cattle auction and the pigs. The pictures in the paper of the kids and the individuals that purchased were all very good. So I compliment them on running a great event. I think it was very successful.
Wonderful. Great comments, Councilman Fitzwater. And I actually have a few more announcements. I have a lot of them this evening, so bear with me here. Wanted to mention, and this is from Madeline from the News Tribune, that she wanted to make us aware of the Fisher Family Good Samaritan Awards and that they are accepting nominations through August 6th, and asking if any of us could help spread the word throughout the community to bring them some nominations. And there is a link if you look up Good Samaritan Awards, and the winners will be recognized at the Redemption Inside the Walls concert on August 28th, which is a Saturday. So we appreciate Madeline from News Tribune and their work in the Good Samaritan Awards. So please be thinking of someone you could nominate or encourage your friends and family to do so. And then also wanted to announce that a couple weeks ago that several of us from the city went on a bike study tour in Northwest Arkansas and learned quite a bit about the importance of biking and what it can do for communities and transportation and tourism. And it was a very hands-on educational experience. We learned a lot. We had Parks leading the way. Mr. Spalding was there with us. We also had Councilman Kemna as our Parks liaison. We had Parks Commission members and also Public Works and some planning employees as well. And it was a lot of learning and learning how to make our streets more accessible, and also thinking of those that use our streets and bikes even for transportation, whether that's their mode to get to work or school or others, and then using it for tourism and enjoyment. And there's so many ways to utilize this, but being bike friendly infrastructure wise and also bike friendly with our culture. So a lot of potential, learned a lot, and it was a great tour. I know Councilman Kimna was there. Would you have anything to add? Is your mic on? Oh, thank
My
you.
apologies. I felt like it was a very beneficial trip. I mean, touring Bentonville, there was Rogers, there was Springdale, there was Fayetteville, and how these trails connected all of these communities. And like the mayor had said, I was very surprised on how all these communities kind of implemented not just the trails as a recreation and transportation, but how this aided in their economic growth. Every single one of these cities has had a steady increase in their population, 10 to 15,000 over the last few years. A lot of things have aided to that. I know the Waltons have poured a lot of money into these trails and have benefited a lot there. So I know it's not solely off of their trails, but I know that when we viewed them, we saw many people accessing these trails. A few trails you had to even travel to just to get on the trail. There was nothing else there. I think there was a coffee shop in the middle of it that I think they're doing well. And also just their stormwater retention that they implemented in some of these projects. I think it was very fascinating. So as we've had some conversations as far as transportation in the last few meetings, I know the last budget meeting, I think greenways and trails, I think are one way that we can look at to help with this as well. So that's.
Thank you, Councilman Kimna.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. And last announcement is our support of United Way. I want to thank our city employees. I know that they're very committed to supporting United Way. Just a reminder to turn in your pledge cards if you haven't already, and a reminder about the penny war. And I noticed that our little penny jars are not in here for some reason. And I also noticed that Mr. Kroll's tends to keep getting emptied, and I don't know how the money just falls out and ends up in other people's buckets. I think there might be some super glue involved in the lids from now on to keep that money in there. But I notice we'll have an investigation because for some reason yours keeps getting empty, and so does Lieutenant Williams at PD. So I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, so please be sure you have until August 19th. So save your pennies or dollars or whatever and put them in your favorite bucket. Any other council announcements? And item 9, we don't have our Lincoln University representative here yet. And now we'll move on to item 10, presentations from the gallery. We have nobody signed up. Anyone on the line that wants to talk about a specific bill? Okay, item 11, consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, bills introduced 2021-36.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, adopting a budget and personnel classification plan for the city for the period of November 1st, 2021 to October 31st, 2022, and appropriating money in the city treasury to pay the cost of operating the city government during that period in accordance with the budget.
Ms. Miller?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As the clerk indicated, this is the FY22 operating budget. The general fund proposal is $33.8 million, with additional funding from other funds and for capital projects, bringing the total City of Jefferson budget for FY22 to $64.6 million.
Thank you. Any questions? And even though this is introduced, we'll be continuing to work on the budget. 2021-37.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, providing for the levy of city taxes and establishing the rate of taxation for the City of Jefferson, Missouri for the year.
Ms. Miller?
So state statute requires that cities establish their property tax rates on an annual basis. The proposed 22 budget has been prepared based on property tax rate for the general fund at 46 cents and for the fireman's retirement rate at 9.61 cents for a total of 55.61 cents. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? And 2021-58.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with construction company LLC in the amount of $125,710.72 for the 2021 micro surfacing project.
And by the way, that's 38, not 58. I'm trying not to use the readers. So, Mr. Smith.
Yes, as was stated, this bill would authorize a contract with construction company, Donaldson Construction Company, LLC, for our annual microsurfacing project. This project would be funded through the half-cent sales tax and is the third component of our major street maintenance contracting program that we have. This issue was discussed at the Public Works and Planning, and approval was recommended. As noted, we have requested a suspension of the rules so that we can get this contract underway as quickly as possible with the favorable weather that we have. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilman Fitzwater?
I would like to request a suspension of the rules with
Okay.
this issue.
So we've had a request to suspend the rules. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will
Second
take up 2021-38. Again.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Donaldson Construction Company, LLC, in the amount of $125,710.72 for the 2021 micro surfacing project.
Any council deliberation or questions or discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Fitzwater,
Aye.
Hensley.
Aye.
Kemna,
Aye.
Lester,
Aye.
Shriver, Spencer,
Aye.
Spicer,
Aye.
Vote,
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman.
Bill passes. 2021-33.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, amending the fiscal year 2021 budget of the City of Jefferson, Missouri by appropriating additional funds within the wastewater fund.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, as stated, this bill would reappropriate $44,000 within the wastewater fund to recognize insurance proceeds from the recent hailstorm so that we can pay for the bill that is next on the agenda, which would be the replacement of a roof at our wastewater treatment plant. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Hensley. Kemna,
Aye.
Lester,
Aye.
Shriver, Spencer,
Aye.
Spicer,
Aye.
Vote,
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman.
Bill passes. 2021-34.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm
Fitzwater was
sorry.
aye on that too.
Oops, sorry.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Sorry about that, Councilman. 2021-34.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with All Seasons Roofing, LLC, in the amount of $34,814 for the roof replacement maintenance building shop RWRF project.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, as stated, this bill would authorize a contract with a contract to replace the roof at our wastewater treatment plant, as noted in the previous bill. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Kemna,
Aye.
Lester,
Aye.
Shriver, Spencer,
Aye.
Spicer,
Aye.
Vote,
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman. Fitzwater,
Aye.
Hensley.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2021-35.
Amending the 2020 to 2021 budget by reclassifying a parks maintenance worker position and a senior parks maintenance worker position to a Parks and Recreation Assistant Director position within the Parks and Recreation Department.
Mr. Spalding?
Thank you, Mayor. Recent years have seen substantial growth and development in J.C. Parks programs, facilities, and staff. In the last 5 years, we've added a rec center, ball field complex, and amphitheater to our inventory. The Recreation Division has expanded into new areas of fitness, art, senior programs, outdoor recreation, and diversity and equity, to name a few. These years have also highlighted the essential role that J.C. Parks plays in providing recreational experiences for our residents and visitors that fall outside of the sports or physical activity categories. Incorporating arts, the amphitheater, and equity into our offerings has resulted in stronger and more representative relationships with community organizations and individuals. We are now at the point where a leadership role is needed to direct the department's non-sports affiliated operations so we can give this new division the same dedicated attention as our established divisions of recreation programming and park resources. Staff has identified 2 vacant park maintenance worker positions that can be reclassified to a Parks and Recreation Assistant Director position. Minimum starting salary for an assistant director position is $5,384 less than the combined minimum starting salaries for 2 maintenance workers. And this position was approved by the Parks Commission on July 13th.
Thank you. Any questions or deliberation, discussion? Councilman Spencer?
So this new position would just be with, main responsibility would be for the diversity and equity within, for, I assume, the amphitheater.
This would be in all non-sports or non-physical activity categories. So amphitheater, arts, and diversity and inclusion.
Could you give a little background on what diversity and equity position actually is for some of us or some of the public that might not understand those terminology?
It means that the program participants that we want, the partnerships that we want to strengthen are all walks of life in our community. That just is what diversity and inclusion means. It means exactly what it says. It's a diverse group. It's an inclusive group. What we've seen in the past is that sometimes our programs are catering to a certain group as not to another. So we want to make sure that we include all, which means relationships better with the Boys and Girls Club, with our school districts, with building community bridges, with communities that have been underserved. It means inclusive in its most basic meaning. Everyone's included.
And this position really can't roll into the sports position that we already have?
It cannot.
Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Lester,
Aye.
Shriver. Spencer,
No.
Spicer,
Aye.
Vogt,
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman. Fitzwater,
Aye.
Hensley,
Aye.
Kemna.
Aye.
Bill passes. Nothing on the informal. Resolutions 2021-10.
A resolution authorizing the city to execute a real estate sale agreement with Cole County for the sale of the parking lot located on Monroe Street and Commercial Way.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, this bill would authorize the sale of parking lot 4, which is address is 211 Monroe Street. This parking lot is adjacent to the county courthouse. The bill would authorize that sale to the county for the appraised value of $100,000. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, comments, or a motion to approve?
Second that.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Shriver, Spencer,
Aye.
Spicer,
Aye.
Vogt,
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman. Fitzwater,
Aye.
Hensley.
Aye.
Kemna.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Item 16, presentations from the gallery on other topics. We don't have anyone signed up. Is there anyone on the line on that topic? Item 17, any council and staff discussion of presentation topics? Item 18, any new business? Item 19, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session, and we will read the closed session portion there.
Pursuant to section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri, the chair will entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss the following. Attorney-client communications, section 610.021, subsection 1.
And is there a motion to approve?
Approve.
And roll call, please. It's okay.
Spencer,
Aye.
Spicer,
Aye.
Vogt,
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman, Fitzwater,
Aye.
Hensley.
Aye.
Kemna.
Aye.
Lester.
Aye.
Shriver.
Okay, motion passes. So we will just stay put in this room and go into closed session. So We'll give it just a minute for the room to empty out. Thank you.